Darnell Lee, owner of Just Produce, and we are going to be asking him some questions today about his store. These questions were generated by some of my students at Cariel Junior High. So, Mr. Lee, where does your produce come from?
Majority of my produce I try to buy local. Greenville, Illinois, I do a lot of business with the Amish. So with the Amish, there's no pesticides, and they do a great job of delivering the produce. So most of the stuff is big and it's tasty and has a good shelf life. Then of course, everything can't come from them, but I have my apples come from Washington State. I've got my plums come from California, and I've got my navel oranges come from California also. And of course, I got Idaho potatoes. So I mean, I got a variety of states that my product comes from, but I just try to get the best thing that I can to make sure my business has a chance to survive.
What are your store hours and when are you the busiest?
Well, my store hours are from 9 to 5 daily, and we're closed on Saturdays. And my busiest times is Sunday. Sunday seems like a lot of the families that come in do meal prep, and they're setting up their schedule for the weekend. So for the weekday. So they seem to buy a lot of product then, and just try to have everything here for them so they can set it. Won't have to go nowhere to buy everything here.
And what happens to food that gets too ripe?
We usually try to make sure that the ripe fruit is not overly ripe, because we buy it as the fresh as you can. But by the time you can take it home and sit on your table for a day, it's ready for you to eat. So it won't go bad on you, but it'll be just perfect for you to eat.
How does your food get to the store?
So we go pick up some items. So for the as far as like say the pumpkins and the watermelons and stuff like that, we would drive up to Greenville, Illinois, and we would load it up in the back of my pickup truck. Or if we get multiple pallets, we would take a larger truck up to pick it up. But most of my items come in on the back of my pickup truck. Or if I got, let's say I've got, if I need 1,000 apples or something like that, I've got a larger truck, an 8-pallet truck, which I go and I'll load that up and I'll bring it back to the store with that. But most of the things I get on the pickup truck though.
How does COVID affect plants in the produce market?
Well, COVID affects the plants by it affects the person dealing with the plants. It affects the supply line. We just talked about that. It just affects the supply line, which when you go to buy the plants to plant the product, it's not there because COVID has shut everything down and there's just nobody there to get the product in. And now we're facing something where there's not enough people to go out and harvest the plants because COVID has slowed everything down there. So in essence, a lot of prices are going to be high because there's nobody there to pick it.
So what makes your store better than a grocery store?
Well, in my business here, I do more of a personal touch. I try to make sure my things that I purchase is, should I say, Darnell-like, which, like say for instance, if I go buy plums, I'll eat the plum to make sure that it's sweet. If it's not to my tasting, I usually don't buy it because if I don't like it, I don't think my customers like it. I try to make sure that as we go along in this business, that I like to buy a larger fruit that I know is going to be a sweeter fruit because sometimes the smaller fruit doesn't sell as well, so a large size usually sells better. I try to do more than just put it on the shelf and just put it there. I try to make sure that the customer sees it. I try to sell it to them. I try to push it on them, and I tell them how to cook it and when to cook it. So I think the ripeness of it and just the shelf life makes it better. And they usually ask all those questions. If they don't, I try to tell them. I try not to outsell, but I try to make sure they know the best of the product.
So why did you decide to sell produce?
Well, when I was in high school, when I started selling produce when I was 15 years old. So I've been in this business for a while. But I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with in my life, and I didn't know which way I was going to go. I mean, I played football for a few years, but I knew that wasn't going to be a thing. So I said, well, food. And I figured everybody has to eat. So I figured I would do something that was dealing with food. So my major in college was business management. I thought I was going to open up a restaurant. But this is just as good as a restaurant because I still meet a lot of people and I'm still dealing with food. So the food thing stuck with me. My mother cooks. Well, she used to cook a lot before she passed, and we had a big family. So I just picked up a few things from her, and I learned. Then my father had we had a farm coming up, so I did a lot of work in the farm. So it just stuck with me, and I like what I was doing, so stuck with it.
And when did you open your store?
Okay, I opened this store here in July 26th of 2020. And this was this is my second store open. My first store open was on Highway 50 over by Walmart. And, that was just a little bit too pricey for me and out of my realm. So in business they say you don't succeed the first time, you try again. So hopefully this one here will make it better. So far it's been pretty good. So we're gonna be open year round, and we hopefully supply everybody with some things that they need, and hopefully it'll be a good thing.
So what do you do for fun, and what do you do when you're not here at the store?
Okay, so things I do for fun. So I like meeting people. So usually on Saturdays, my day off, I've got a produce. I got several produce stands at Sulaw Market, and I've been there for over 14 years. So I'm usually there. So I'm still dealing with produce. It's just at a larger volume. And then during the weekdays, I drive school buses for Central and Johns in O'Fallon, Illinois. So a lot of you might know my face, see me around, because I do drive for Carriel or Fulton a period of time. So, and I bowl, and I attempt to try to play. I'm gonna put two verbs in attempt to try to play golf. But that's just something that's on the side. So, but just I go to the gym, lift weights, just to try to be healthy, and just try to do the right thing. That's all. Life is it's a good thing. Just got to make sure you do the right side.